the Anti-Violence Project. Nate, thank you for showing us around and just everything that you guys do out here. It's mind-boggling that this is right in our backyard. So, we addressed some of the problems. We addressed some of the whens, wheres, what, hows, but let's talk about help.
Yeah.
There's so many nuances to that. Tell me about it.
Well, one of the great things is having a location like Ozark Center. The Ozark Center handles mental health from the day you're born to the day you pass away.
Yeah.
And everything in between. And so no matter where you're at, no matter what you need, there are those options that are available to be able to meet whatever you're at the time, whether that's family, whether that's individual, whether that's group understanding. A lot of times with violence also comes substance abuse.
Sure.
So being able to then manage an addiction or managing, how do we manage how that's kind of become an important part of our world.
Right. Here at Turnaround Ranch, you guys serve about how many clients would you have at a time?
So once our cottage is done, we'll be up to be able to go up to 36. And so with that, and then we have a home-based program that we use as well.
Yeah.
And so we offer, from here, we offer services for the family. We do family therapies, group sessions.
Oh, you do?
It's all here, yep. We also, thanks to telehealth, are able to work with families from all over the state.
Yeah.
So we have kids that come from all over the state that come in, and we work with their families even from a distance.
It is the Anti-Violence Project. Yes, we're bringing the community together to encourage, to educate, and to find solutions. And I'm pleased to be here with Mr. Mayor himself, Mayor Cortez. How you doing?
Man, Howie, I'm doing great. How about you?
Man, I'm great. And great. Of course, Joplin is it's a growing place, and so you're kind of took over the helm as mayor, and we're on this trajectory where we're able to see a lot of exciting things. What do you think contributes to the overall health of a community?
Howie, I think education is vital in everything that we do. People need to understand what is good for them and what isn't bad for them. I think the health of our community right now is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Financially, we're doing really, really good. We've got a lot of projects going on that are going to improve the livability of our community, the walkability of our community, the aesthetics of our community. We're going to look better.
Yeah.
We're kind of getting a little bit of a facelift.
Safety is a big issue when it comes to, we're talking about the Anti-Violence Project and overall safety of our community as well as the health. They're doing some key things when it comes to safety as well with the new roads and the new, all this infrastructure changes.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, but it's a good challenge to have when you're getting this new stuff in it.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Everything that's going on right now, everything that we're working on is all about improving our community, make it safer, make it more livable, make it more easy for people to navigate our community, get where they need to go, and be safe while they're doing it.
Well, I just want to tell you, your strength and commitment and courage through this entire thing is inspiring for all of us. And again, I hope that no one that's watching, I hope they never have to go what you've gone through. But I love the fact that you've always been in the public. You've been very vocal. You're completely loyal to your family and always have been from day one. And now you've even empowered a piece of legislation that's going to be going in front of representatives today. Now, can we talk a little bit about the Laura and Ashley bill? I don't know all the ins and outs. Could you give us kind of an idea what that covers?
Okay, well, 3 years ago, when Ronnie Busick was getting out of prison, and I got a phone call from somebody that says, hey, Ronnie Busick, they're going to let him out on May 17th. How can this happen? So I got my little BBI team, Bible Bureau of Investigation, together, and we started making phone calls. And my niece Lisa knows Steve's wife, Christy. So she called her. Steve immediately called us back. I called Rusty Cornwell I know him from Craig County. And they said, what do you need? We need phone numbers, addresses, email addresses, so we can start emailing people, see, can we stop this? Which both of them, and Steve really worked hard. What do you need? Here's where you go. Attorney General Drummond, we contacted him, we talked to him, and then he had to call us up and send us a letter and say, we can't stop this. He's gonna walk out of here on the 17th. We cannot stop it. And at that point, after 22 and a half, 23 years, you think, this is gonna happen to another family. You're gonna finally get somebody convicted, sent to prison, and they're going to get to go leave. This needs to stop. And at that point, we got with Steve and we said, can we do something? And he said, well, let me look at it. Let me get some people together and we look at it. They did, and we come up with the Laura Ashley.
This is something, again, it's going to be coming up to vote today.
It is.
So it sounds like we have your support on this.
Absolutely. I'm the primary author. Absolutely.
So what's it look like today? Does it look like, I mean, in the past, I think something similar has been offered. Does it look like it's going to get through here today?
Absolutely. I'm very, very confident about this. With Lorraine's help and Lisa Bible, the other family member. The problem is in this, when we talk about these type of crimes and things, we don't put ourselves or even try to put ourselves in the position of those that are affected. What happens to the victims? What happens to Lorraine? She has to go home and think about this continually. And Lorraine's one of those, she's the most tenacious person I've ever met in my life. She has not given up on finding Laura, and she's not going to. And I gave her my promise that every year I'm here, I'm going to run this bill until it passes. We've got to keep people that harm normal citizens, people that follow the law, we've got to put in place things that protect them.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members in the South Gallery, I'd like to introduce someone that's been very special, the person that is responsible for bringing this law to fruition. The mother of Laura Bible, who is still missing to this day, is in the South Gallery, and she's the most tenacious woman that I've ever met in my life. Please welcome Lorraine Bible.
So, our family had a tragedy last May the 23rd. My daughter, Natalie, and son-in-law, Davey Lloyd, were missionaries, full-time missionaries in Haiti. They were murdered by gangs there, which have taken over about 90% of the country in Haiti. It's a terrible situation, and you want to talk about violence. It's something that we're very familiar with, and no one should have to face that kind of instance in their life where they deal with a death of that nature, because it just adds to the difficulty in processing that and the grieving process and everything involved with it. And it has for us, and I know this is violence in a different part of the world, in a different country, but a lot of times the principles of violence is something that is the same no matter where you go, and again, it's that cycle of hurting people. It's that cycle of drug abuse, alcohol abuse that gets such a hold on people, and it affects the children, and then that affects the next generation, and on in that cycle.
So it's really important to us to provide for public safety, not just for our tribal citizens, but also the entire community. Just based on family relationships, people who've gone to school together, people who've grown up together. We don't just care about O-Gah-Pah Nation tribal members, it's the entire community in which we live. The days of allotment when only the O-Gah-Pah resided here, those are long past. We're in a different era. We care about all the kids, we care about all the elders, and public safety is the way that we make sure that our community thrives and continues to grow and prosper in the many years to come.
Howard, we're made to help each other.
Yeah.
We're made to take care of each other. And a lot of times we'll do that within our own families. If our family's in distress,
sure,
we all come running and we all rally around and do everything that we can to make that situation better.
Yeah.
How come we can't do that as a community?
So what they say is the number one indicator of success is a sense of community. I mean, every sign, that validates the work that we do. Everybody needs to feel wanted, loved, and needed.
And
right?
heard.
Yes. And so it's like, okay, so how do we stop just, it was James Whitterford actually who told me, long before I ran, I was engaged in a not-for-profit. And I had the opportunity to run into him at a conference, and I was talking to him, and he said, oftentimes we as Christians in particular feel charitable by writing a check. That's true. It's like,
sure,
okay, you give somebody $10 or whatever, and you think, but he said that's for you to feel good about you.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily changing a life.
This happens at the ground level. This isn't something we just give money to and forget about and put a shiny. This starts. So I'm like, maybe over the course of a couple decades, we could start something to educate people. let them tell their story too.
Right.
Healing a community comes with this, a well, kind of a hope springs eternal.